What's up, everybody? Welcome to another director ranking video where I rank every film by a certain director. I have done other director ranking videos in the past, such as Spike Jonze, Todd Phillips, and Stanley Kubrick, along with many others. Check that out. Check those out if you haven't already. There's a playlist with all of my director ranking videos. But today I will be ranking all 8 of Adam McKay's films. Yes, Adam McKay. Adam McKay is an interesting director, to say the least, because his first 5 films all starred. Sorry about that. His first 5 films all starred Will Ferrell, and then he stopped doing movies with him, at least with Will Ferrell in, starring in his films, because I think some of his later films, I think, has, well, at least some of them has Will Ferrell like as a producer, but yeah, but his first 5 films are all starring Will Ferrell, and his first 4 out of those 5 are like some of Will Ferrell's best movies, and then you got some others after the after the first 5 that are very interesting, and it's kind of interesting to see that they were by the same director. But yeah, so okay, of course, keep in mind personal opinions. If your favorite is my least favorite, then I'm sorry. If my favorite is your least favorite, then oh well. So okay, let's waste no time. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right. So coming in at number 8, my least favorite Adam McKay movie. Some people would say this is their favorite. Maybe some might. Like, I can imagine some film buffs might say that this is their favorite. But this is my least favorite. My number 8 is The Big Short. Yeah, The Big Short, I'm not into it. I'm not. I only watched it all the way through once, and now I will say it was pretty well made. I thought the editing was pretty interesting, to say the least. The soundtrack wasn't bad either, and the performances were fine. But other than that, this movie was boring to me. Like, I don't really remember a whole lot from it, aside from some things, but like I remember it being pretty boring and not really that funny either. So yeah, I'm not into The Big Short. A much better movie about the stock company stuff, that would be The Wolf of Wall Street. Much better. It's much more entertaining, but this one, not really. Yeah, good cast. You got Steve Carell and Brad Pitt and Ryan Gosling and even Christian Bale, who is an actor I do not like at all. He is in the next movie I'll be talking about though. But yeah, The Big Short, not a fan. I probably will never watch it again. Yeah, that's my number 8, The Big Short, my least favorite Adam McKay movie. Okay, coming at number 7 was the last Adam McKay movie I watched. After that, I was like, okay, I'm ready to do his ranking now. That would be Vice. Yeah, back to Christian Bale again. Now, okay, I'll go ahead and say this. Like I said, I can't stand Christian Bale as an actor. I know everybody loves him, or at least a lot of people do. I'm not a fan. I don't even think he's that good of an actor. But this might be his best performance. He was pretty good in this movie. I don't think it was like amazing, because I don't think he's an amazing actor. I don't even think he's that good of an actor, like I said. But he was alright in this movie. And I liked this a lot better than The Big Short. But with that being said, I still wasn't a fan. I'll go and say this. This is Adam McKay's weirdest film. Vice is weirder than Anchorman 2, which I'll be talking about later, but I did not think that this movie was going to be a weird movie. I thought it was going to be very boring, and I just thought I wasn't going to be into it. I was a little bit wrong. It wasn't all the way boring. There were some moments that kind of lost me, but it wasn't really that boring. And I don't know. I didn't really like the movie, but I thought it was interesting and very weird. Apparently this movie was supposed to be a comedy, and I did not think that it was going to be a comedy, because it's a biopic about Dick Cheney. But it was, and there were moments that kind of made me laugh. I'm not going to lie. This movie was funnier than The Big Short, but it's also just very strange. It was a very, very weird movie. The weirdest political movie I have ever seen. Not going to lie. But yeah. And unlike The Big Short, I could maybe revisit this movie sometime. Probably not, at least in the next 5 years. But still, like, I'm not. I might watch it again someday. Who knows? Because it was interesting, to say the least. But yeah, that's my number 7 is Vice. Okay, coming at number 6, we have the last one in the non-Will Ferrell Adam McKay trilogy. That is Don't Look Up, which is right now the most recent Adam McKay movie. I actually reviewed this on the channel. Check that out if you want. I didn't actually revisit this movie. I've only seen it once. But I was mixed on the movie, to be honest. I liked some parts and some of the performances I enjoyed. Like Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, was great. Even Jennifer Lawrence was really good in the movie. And Meryl Streep was okay. Cate Blanchett was good, as she usually is. It was an interesting movie, too. Kind of weird. Not as weird as Vice, but a little weird. But also very... I think this movie's pretty accurate to, like, how America is, I would say. Because it's about a meteor coming down to Earth, and it's going to destroy the whole world. And there's half people believe it, and half that don't. That's what I think would happen to America if that did happen. So, it's very accurate. It's kind of scary how accurate it is, but yeah. But as far as the movie is, it's okay. I'm not really into it. I don't know if I want to revisit it. I don't know. I was thinking about revisiting it, but then I was like, nah. But yeah, Don't Look Up. That's number 6. Now we're in the top 5, and the rest of them are the Will Ferrell movies. Yes, I'm sorry. I do like Will Ferrell. Those y'all who are Will Ferrell haters, I enjoy Will Ferrell, and I think that or at least I enjoy these movies more than the ones I just mentioned. So the rest of these are Will Ferrell movies. So let's go ahead and get into those. Okay. So coming at number 5, we have a movie that a lot of people would probably put as their least favorite Adam McKay. And you know what? I get it. I totally get it. Because it's not really a good movie. But it's a guilty pleasure for me. That would be Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. Like, before I saw Vice, I was convinced that this was Will Ferrell's weirdest movie. I mean, it's a lot like the first Anchorman, but very much, but a lot more wackier and stupider. So, yeah, and weirder too. I think there's a lot of stuff in this movie that would make you go, what the fuck? Like, for real. I still enjoy this movie though. It's been a little while since I've seen it, but I remember I liked it a lot, actually, when I first saw it. And not as much as the first movie, no. But I still enjoyed it very much. Thinking, it's like I said, it's been years since I've seen it. But thinking back on it, I still enjoy it. Some of the stuff I remember, some of it was pretty funny. So this movie's like mixed on the comedy. Like there's some moments that are really funny in this movie, and there's some that are not, and even some that are kind of cringy too. Um, like one thing I remember not liking about this movie was, well, I thought Brick, played by Steve Carell, he was all right. He wasn't as funny as he was in the first movie, but he was all right. However, I did not like what they did with his character, with him like having a relationship with what's her name, Kirsten Wig or Kristen Wig, whatever her name is. I don't know. I thought that was a little bit too much, and just And there's some other moments too. I can't really think of at the top of my head. I know there's a part in the movie where Ron Burgundy dates a black woman, and there's some parts in that's pretty cringy because it's like him trying not to be racist, but he says some stuff that's kind of racist, and it's, yeah. And even though this is 10 years old, it didn't really think back on that stuff. Yeah, I don't think that aged very well, but whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I thought all the actors were good in it, and yeah, and I like some of the cameos in this movie. There's a lot of cameos in the first one too, but there's a lot of cameos in the second movie that I really enjoyed. And I'm so glad that they brought back Vince Vaughn again as Wes Mantooth, who might be my favorite character in the first movie, but they did bring him back as a cameo, and I was so happy to see him again. That was great. But yeah, Anchorman 2, I kind of want to watch it again, but I don't know. I'm kind of scared to be honest. But as of right now, I still kind of like it. It's a guilty pleasure, but yeah. Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. That's my number 5. Okay, coming at number 4. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Coming at number 4, we have Step Brothers. Step Brothers is a very stupid and childish movie, but it works. It works very well. It's not even really cringy. You would think maybe it would be because it's about these 40-year-olds who still act like children. But no, it's still a very funny movie. It's a dumb movie, yes, but it's funny. Like, it's the same kind of dumb but funny humor as like Dumb and Dumber. Like, if you like Dumb and Dumber and haven't seen Step Brothers, you'll probably enjoy Step Brothers too. And I should mention, of course, Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. They have great chemistry together. However, I do like their chemistry a little bit better in the next movie I'll be talking about. But still, they are what make the movie for sure. But I also like the parents, Richard Jenkins and Mary Steenburgen. They're both funny and good in the movie. And Adam Scott plays a douchebag character who is Will Ferrell's brother, but he's pretty funny. And Catherine Hahn as his wife, who is really weird but also funny. Catherine Hahn's great. I love Catherine Hahn. But yeah, it's a really stupid movie, but it's great. It's funny. Yeah, Step Brothers. That's my number 4. Okay, coming at number 3, we have like I said, the other movie with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly that I do like a little better. And I remember at one point I was obsessed with this movie. Like, when I very first saw this movie, I was obsessed with it. I watched it all the fucking time. That would be Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Another stupid movie, sure, but you know, all of these movies are pretty stupid, to be honest, but it's good. It's good stupid humor. And Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly again as Ricky Bobby and Cal Naughton Jr. Fantastic. Shake and bake. Yes. This movie is very quotable. Of course, you got Shake and Bake. You also got If You Ain't First, You're Last. Yeah. This movie is just fucking hilarious. I rewatched it again for this rank, and it still holds up. It really does. Sacha Baron Cohen as the French dude. I forgot it. always forget his name, but doing this really bad French accent, but it's hilarious. The late great Michael Clark Duncan is also in this movie. Amy Adams is in this movie. She's great and funny. And what's this girl's name? Is it Leslie something? Leslie Bibb, I think is her name. Yeah. Gary Cole, too, as Ricky's dad is hilarious, and Jane Lynch is his mom. Oh, and and their kids, too. Walker and Texas Ranger. Yeah, Ricky's kids. Uh, they're hilarious, yeah. Just a really funny movie. And this DVD, I'm going to go ahead and say it. This DVD, this is the unrated DVD. This has one of the best commentaries I have ever listened to. It's completely scripted. Will Ferrell isn't in the commentary, but Adam McKay is, and some other guys, and like, it's so ridiculous. They just come up with like a bunch of random stories and stuff that are just really weird and dumb and stuff about them. Like, it's completely fictional of how they made this movie. If you haven't, if you have this DVD or Blu-ray that happens to have that commentary, please listen to it. It is fantastic. The Adam McKay commentaries are usually really entertaining. There's one on Step Brothers too with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly where they also have like the composer for the movie like scores the commentary, and they're making it as a musical. The commentary, it's pretty entertaining. And the Anchorman commentary is pretty funny too. But yeah, one of my favorite commentaries is for Talladega Nights. But yeah, Talladega Nights, really funny movie, and that's my number 3. Yeah. Okay, coming in at number 2, we have a movie I do like better than Talladega Nights, and I have to say, out of the first 4 Adam McKay, Will Ferrell movies, I think this is the most underrated one. It is my second favorite. I do like another one better, but yeah, but at number 2, we have The Other Guys. The Other Guys, oh my god, this is so ridiculous, but it's fantastic. Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is an actor I don't necessarily like all that much, aside from like some comedies like this, for example, of course, and like Ted, and there's another movie he did with Will Ferrell that I like called Daddy's Home. Not the second one. The second one was trash, but the first one I actually didn't mind. But and I, of course, I also like him in Boogie Nights as well. But Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell have amazing chemistry in this movie. They started out like not liking each other. Like Mark Wahlberg pretty much hates Will Ferrell in this movie at first, but then they get to know each other. They become friends and stuff. It's pretty funny. Michael Keaton, I think, is my favorite part in this movie. I think he plays my favorite character, their captain. He is fucking hilarious. He keeps referencing TLC songs without even noticing it. It's just so funny. Eva Mendes is good in this movie too. Who else is in this movie? I should say, of course, the first 10 minutes or so with Sam Jackson and The Rock, hilarious. I love them so much in this movie. Oh god. Their death too was just spoilers. They die, but their death is so dumb and funny. But this movie also has a really cool soundtrack as well. And it's just an awesome action comedy film. Yeah. The Other Guys is hilarious. I love it. Yeah, that's my number 2. My number 2 is The Other Guys. And it would be my number 1 if it wasn't for this. So coming at number 1, you probably guessed it already. That is, of course, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Yeah, I think this is without a doubt Adam McKay's best film. I honestly do think it's his best. and it's dumb, of course. It's dumb. Maybe not as dumb as the second, but it's still a dumb movie. But again, just like much like the others, it works. The humor works. I was also really obsessed with this movie when I first saw it. I think I saw Talladega Nights first, and then I saw Anchorman on TV. And at one point, Anchorman was actually my favorite movie for a little bit. But you got to keep in mind that was before I watched any other movie that wasn't a comedy. So yeah, but yeah, I've always loved Anchorman. It's one of the most quotable movies ever. Ron Burgundy is a fantastic character. Maybe my favorite Will Ferrell character, either him or Buddy the Elf from Elf. But I do like Elf better than this movie. But yeah, and I love his chemistry with. He has great chemistry with Christina Applegate, who's great in this movie. But also his chemistry with Steve Carell, Paul Rudd, and David Koechner as Brick, Brick Tamblyn, Brian Fantana, Brian Fantana, and Champ Kine. And of course Ron Burgundy. All four of those dudes, man, they're so ridiculous. They're like the most ridiculous characters, but they're fucking hilarious, and they were great to either. All four of them were still really great in the second movie too, but this is where they really shine, and they're hilarious. And I should mention again, Vince Vaughn as Wes Mantooth, my favorite character, I think, and I just love him so much. He's Ron Burgundy's his nemesis, and he's not in the movie too much. He's only like in 3 or 4 scenes, but still, every single time he's on screen, I just love it so much. I love Anchorman. It's a hilarious movie. It's one of Will Ferrell's best movies, if not his best movie. And it's my personal favorite Adam McKay movie. So yeah, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. That is my number 1 favorite Adam McKay movie. Yeah. Alright, there we go. There is my ranking for Adam McKay's films. So, in the comments, please give me your ranking for Adam McKay's movies. Have you seen them all? If not, just say what your favorite and least favorite Adam McKay movies are. Excuse me. Okay. Alright, so, in my last video, I did mention that there might be a new, Your Cousins Are Critics episode. I think I said that about, after the Spike Jonze ranking, but as you could, maybe you could tell, it didn't happen. I don't know when exactly. I know it won't happen until at least November. The next Your Cousins Are Critics episode. Kate actually called me today and said that, like, hey, can we hold off till like at least November? I've been pretty busy lately and stuff like that. But yeah, so it'll be a little while till we can do an episode of that. But yeah, I'm thinking we might do, we were going to do The Lost Boys, but I'm thinking about watching that on my own. So, I think we're going to try to do Infinity Pool, the Brandon Cronenberg movie. So check that out. Hopefully coming soon, probably in November, but yeah. But anyways, and as far as like other videos, maybe the next one might be the October ranking. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. If not, it'll be something else. I'll think of something. But anyways, yeah. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the bell. And I'll see you guys later. All right. Peace.